Hi everybody, welcome along. It is day two of Punchestown Festival is in the bag. I'm going to preview day three. Before all that, let's take a little bit of a quick recap on today's action. Better day than yesterday. We hit the crossbar on a couple of sweet but sour moments that we could have had an absolute exceptional day, but still not taking away anything from today. We had a very good day personally, and the racing was fantastic, so we can't complain. It was a win-win situation. The first race was the Adair Manor final handicap. We selected two in the race. David Pipes, thanks for the help, and Jessica Harrington's Guri. Thanks for the help was absolutely hammered. A real McManus gamble on that one. Into 7-2. We advised it was out 6-1 still at the time. And looked all over winner, the grey horse, the UK runner, but ran out of steam a bit and was essentially third, beating about 2.25 lengths, 2.5 lengths. Life in the Park for Henry de Bromhead and Mikey O'Connor in the famous Manila colours got up at second favourite at 9-2 to beat Rock Road at 16-1 back in second. But again, our two selections in the places as Boyle Sports were playing six. Our other horse, Jesse's Runner, was supported as well. We advised at nines and was into about 6-1 or 7-1, and he finished fifth. So we collected each way money on both of those. Then the big disappointing race for us was the auction hurdle, where we had Peter Fatty's selection Freedom to Dream, who had every chance. A very disappointing. He was beaten about 10.25 lengths back and forth. Absolutely hammered. We were on a 5-2 into 7-4. Had every chance. Rebel Ivy looked to win the race. Kicked clear 14-1, but Peter Fatty's other runner, second string at 40-1, ambitious fella, ran it down late in the hands of Sam Ewan, who's an exceptional rider. Of course, is still on the flat with Jar Lines, but I'd imagine he's going to be over the timber in the next season or two full time. I'd say the weight is going to get him, but he is an absolute he's a proper rider, this young lad. Then the next race was the Louis Fitzgerald Hurdle. We had a short favourite that was Nicky Henderson's Phil Darius at 6-4. We selected Classic Getaway at last night at about 7-1, 8-1 in places, and looked all over winner. Turned in tanking in the hands of Danny Mullins in the famous colours of the Cheveley Park stud. Ended up finishing. It looked like it was even going to get back up. He went clear about 3 or 4 lengths coming, and then he got ran down. Actually finished third. I actually thought he finished second. He's beaten on the head and the neck. I think if Danny had his chance, but he couldn't really stop the momentum, he would have held on a bit longer. But Classic Getaway, he's definitely a horse of ability. I don't think he's the most straightforward, but Cross Hill for Jessica Harrington with Robbie Power in the saddle, of course, in the colours of Ronnie Bartlett, getting up at 15-2. Then we had one of our sweet selections, which was the nice guy who selected this horse at a big price in Cheltenham, and Julia Obliged here doing the double. We were on a 5-2 last night into 15-8, won the grade one very convincingly. I think he only won by 3/4 of a length, but he had a little bit up his sleeve. Paul knew what he had, and he knew he had the best horse in the race. He knew he was always going to win. So the winning margin is actually, I think, a little bit unreflective of his performance. He instead made a crooner by 3/4 of a length, and Meet and Greet was back in third. Actually, that was Oliver Kieran's horse back in third. He's after having two big prices placed in the Grade 1 novices now. Absolute fantastic performance again from Oliver McKieran Yard. Then we went to the feature race, and I was sweet and Allaho, and if he stayed, and he did stay, and by God, Paul Townend, this is why you are a world-class jockey. These are why the moments that make you a world-class jockey. No matter if anyone wants to watch, he just took the race by the scruff of the neck. Wasn't going to let it get away from him. Knew what he had. Knew what he had to do. Knew the fractions to set. Knew what to do with him. Put them all out of comfort zone, and absolutely trounced him. He beat Atlanta's Oboe, last year's winner, by 14 lengths. Absolutely smashed him. I don't think he'd go to the Cheltenham Gold Cup, but he's won a 3 mile Grade 1 Gold Cup, an Irish one now. So that's another feather in the cap, and of course in the colours of Cheveley Park Stud. He's an absolute monster of a horse. Horse running milk, Album Photo, he was back in third. Jewel, Cheltenham Gold Cup winner, and Kemby, the old boy. He looked like he had every chance, and he had a little bit of a niggle coming out over the last 40-1. But we selected Allaho to win and Clandazobo to run him home, and we had won too. Shame we didn't do the forecast, but an exceptional race nevertheless. Then we went to the bumper, Facile Vega 8-15. Won very well, I thought, by a length and a quarter. I thought this performance was even a bit more. It was a bit more impressive than the eye to see. We selected Redemption Ways, our each selection, finished second at 10-1. Another bit of a forecast we could have had. So we had the winner in our win selection and the second at 10-1 in our each way selection. Great to see that Redemption Day coming back. American Mike was back in third, but Facile Vega could have down tools and let this one get away from him, but he didn't. He showed guts and determination and won by a length and a quarter. Again, another two very good horses going forward for next year. Then we went to the Handicapped Chase and Royal Rendezvous for Winnie Mullins and Paul Town and combined again at 12-1. Beat the Scordney back in second. And then we went to the final race, which was another mayor's bumper. It was another bumper, which was a mayor's bumper. It was over 2 miles. And Noah Mead and Pat Taff combined with the Model Kingdom. Great to see Noah Mead having a winner at the festival. And our selection, who was hammered again from the Peter Fetty yard, we were on last night at 8 or 9-1 and ended up 9-2, was back in third. So again, all our selections ran very well. Very happy with them. Couple of the big prices hit the crossbar. We could have got one of them over the line, which would have made for an exceptional day, but cracking racing and a good few results. But look, after spending long enough waffling on about day 2, let's get on to day 3. And again, we have a 3:40 start. We're off with a handicap hurdle over 2 miles. Biosports are playing 6th place in the race. It's not a race I have a whole opinion of, but there's one in here. There's two in. No, sorry. Yeah, there's two in here that I'm going to look at in the each way markets. Peter Fatty's his name is McDivitt with Kevin Sexton in the saddle. He's about 20-1 at the minute, and I think he won 2 on the flat. Decent performer on the flat, and I think this could be a good little opportunity for him to sneak in with them 6 places and hopefully get his head in front. The other one I like at a price is Luke Short for the Noah Mead yard. Shane Flanagan in the saddle. Noah Mead had a winner, so the yard is starting to hit a bit of form. He was rated 81 in the flat. He ran in some good races. He ran some good races in maiden hurdles. He's ran in 3 maiden hurdles, been placed in all 3. He's a handicap debutant, and I think he could be ideally lined out for this race. He's around 7 or 8-1 at the minute. Disappointing if he weren't in the first 6 anyway. That brings us to a Grade B handicap chase. It's over 2 miles. We've got 13 runners lined up here. And I think Grange Walk for John Ryan's going to take all the beating here. Looked to be travelling super well the last day when Mount Leinster ended up being the benefit because Grange Walk fell at the second last. The swing around here of £5 difference. Shane Fitzgerald, who's an exceptional £5 allowance. He's valued, that young lad. So Grange Walk for me here, 3-1 for local trainer John Ryan in the second. Then we have the Lattus Cup. This is a race I'd rather watch than have a bet in. One I would think that if he puts in the performance, share the operator for Edna Bulger, who's an absolute maestro in these races. Derek O'Connor riding for JP McManus. This horse, but he can throw in a bad performance, but he's won around here, and if he puts it together, I think he's the one they all have to be here. But for me, I'm just going to watch the race. But if I was going for one in it, it would be Shady Operator. And that brings us to the first Grade 1 of day 3. It is the Stairs Hurdle. We've got 8 runners lined up here, hopefully to do, because I've 2 each ways I'm going to go with. The favourite is Classical Dream, 13-8, too short in my eyes. He looked like he was bomb-proof for his first couple of starts. But he has, since that run and Goran, I'm not going to back him at 13-8. He could very well, Julia Oblige, come back to form and bolt up. But for me, with the 3 places, if they stay in there, the Devil's Coachman for Noah Mead and Sean Flanagan. He's 4 from 6 over hurdles. I liked his performance in Navan the last day. He beat Ashdale Bob by a head, I think it was. That was over 2 mile 5. He's stepping up to 2 mile 7. I think he'll appreciate the trip. And I think this horse is 7-1. He's a cracking each way player. The other one down the bottom is the Mayor Concertista, Very interesting coming back over hurdles. Ran over fences for the last few times. Of course, is fifth in the Grade 2 chase, Mayor's Chase in Cheltenham. Daryl Jacob coming over as he's retained to the owners for Willie Mullins. So Concertista and the Devil's Coachman each way in the stairs hurdle, provided 8 stay in the race. And that brings us to another big handicap of the day. It is Grade B. 2 mile 7 handicap for 4-year-olds plus 2 again here are big prices. I'm not going to go down through all the formats late at night, but one I was looking forward to and tipped up for Cheltenham that I think is knocking on the door and is well handicapped back down to a mark is Dennis Collins at Grey View. Of course, is a course and distance winner. Mark Walsh chooses to ride this in the colour JP McManus, who has 3 to 4 definitely in the race. 3 anyway, and then 1 is a reserve if it gets in. Mark Walsh opts to ride Dennis Collins at Grey View here. I actually had this horse tipped up for one of the handicaps, didn't go to Cheltenham, so it's interesting that Dennis kept him for here. He's after coming back down into a very winnable mark here. 14 to 1 at the minute. 6 places again with Bio Sports. There's a lot of money around for the bomber listing for Nicky Henderson with Aidan Coleman. Of course, Aidan rides a lot of JP's horses in the UK, and obviously rides out a lot for Nicky Henderson by Yates, in off a nice weight, some very decent form, and is a 6-year-old, so one to watch as well. The other one I like and a big price is Maze Runner. I've actually backed this horse in a couple of big handicaps. Has been knocking on the door. Young Kieran Cannon claiming 7, takes 7 off her back here. She got 11 forward, but the 7 off her back brings her right into it here. 7-year-old by authorized, gelding him. If this horse can settle and can get a bit more prominent in his last couple of runs and actually runs through with a race, I think he could be bang there at the business end. 6 places there, so Maze Runner, I think he's about 20 to 1 at the minute. That Kieran Cannon is very young. He's a young rider that's going to go places. I watched him winning a couple of. He won on one of Millie's there in Cork. I thought he gave it a very good ride. He has, I think, about 4 winners under his belt. But when you're riding for Willie Mullins, it's the biggest vote of confidence you can get as a young national hunt rider to get rides off of Willie, especially in Punchestown. Then we have. Then we have the final Grade 1 of the day. It is the Novice Chase. It's over 2 miles. We've got only 7 runners lined up here, but gentlemen, they all have to be gentlemen to me. Willie Mullins again with JP McManus. Could be a great day for JP. Hopefully he puts a lot into the game and is an absolute gentleman of national hunt racing. So I hope it's a big day for JP McManus. He could whitewash actually. I'm after tipping I think nearly every race I'm after tipping the JP horse without even realising it. But look, that's the day you could have. Mark Walsh again, who is an absolute unbelievable jockey. This horse is 5 to 4. I think it's value at this. They all have to beat him here. Blue Lord. He was an Irish Arca winner, but he was third in Cheltenham in the Arca, behind Edwardstone. Gentleman to me missed Cheltenham. He went to Aintree, where Edwardstone, who was a very, very good winner of the Arca in Cheltenham, and this horse trounced him by 4.5 lengths. This horse could be something special, and we might see a special performance tomorrow. But again, it's a Novice Chase. But for me, 5 to 4, he's starting to get nibbled at the minute. I wouldn't expect that to last too much longer. Definitely not 5 to 4 anyway. I can see him go 6 to 5, even money even. And this horse, they all have to beat. So gentlemen, for me, I'm going to make him my nap of the day. The penultimate race then is a Mayor's Handicapped Chase. It's a race that I have no selection in, so I'm just going to watch it. I'm going to bypass this race and go straight to the last race of day 3. And this is another bumper. It's over 2 miles, and James's Gate, I think, is going to take exceptional beating here. He was a very impressive course and distance winner on debut. He's only run twice. His second run, he went to the champion bumper in Cheltenham and finished third behind Fat Kyle Vega, an American Mike. That form has been franked by Fakal Vega winning again yesterday. Yesterday it'll be tomorrow when this video gets out. So Paddy Muns, Willie Muns combining here, 4 to 5 at a minute. So I think I'm going to double him, James's gate, with a gentleman to me in the third last and the last race. One that I can see running a very good race, and this is Sir Jimmy Mack. Was impressed with him for Murdoch Kelly, Declan Lavery. The third horse has come out and won a maiden hurdle since, so the form is stacking up a bit. But for me, James's gate here puts that form together. Coming in here, he's going to take all the whack in here. That's going to be a very tricky but entertaining day 3 at Punchestown. Hopefully we have a very good day, and we hopefully get one of those big prices in the handicaps over the line. It'd be nice to get one of those in. We've hit the crossbar with a few of them. We've seen some exceptional racing. The first day was a bit of a it was a hard day, but it was always going to be if there was one of those match bets didn't go the way that we thought it would go. But I thought today was super racing, great results, and that novice hurdle that a great view one. I thought the way that they all came down into the last and the second last there, it was a real sign of really good novices. And what the performance he put in, I really like that horse going forward. I think he's one of those horses that's going to just keep progressing and keep winning. He mightn't look the flashiest, but he's definitely a horse that he's going to catch my eye going forward. Again, guys, hit the like, hit the share button. I will be back again very soon. I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm going to preview day 4, but I'm also going to be previewing Newmarket's 2,000 and 1,000 guineas. I'll probably put those together in one video. I might put Saturday's 2,000 guineas in with day 4's action as well. And anyway, guys, hopefully we get in a few nice winners again. I'm waffling on here too long. I'm going to sign off. I'm Mark Fanning, MJS Sports. Talk to you again very soon. Cheers.